able to join us today. So this is the CCYP coaching program. Today is June 24th. Wow. And it's an update. So again, welcome. Everybody else has done the welcome. So how are you doing, Lauren? What's new in your life?
Doing well. Just came off a public policy committee meeting this morning, so everything's going well.
God, we could probably spend the next 45 minutes with you talking about all the things that are going on that are affecting young people on Cape Cod.
There's a lot.
Yeah, like this morning's paper about closing down the maternity ward and pediatrics in Falmouth Hospital.
Yeah, that's been simmering for a while, and they've really dug their heels in on it. It's really unfortunate, but and they're saying that, you know, you should be able to go to Plymouth, and that's not a problem, but you know.
Well, you can tell that there's not a lot of women making those decisions, right?
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, equity and access continue to be this like pervasive thing. It doesn't matter what you're talking about: housing, childcare, maternity care, and it's sort of disproportionately impacting younger people, and I think younger women with children in particular. So it's definitely a tough. You sort of feel like you're getting hit from all sides.
I bet.
Yeah. And then a mutual colleague of Lauren's and mine, Ilana wrote a really nice Facebook post today about housing on Cape Cod and the changes that have happened in the last 30 or 40 years, whereas early on the building, like I live on a quarter-acre piece of property in a raised ranch, and the whole neighborhood is quarter-acre property. And at the time my husband bought in the 80s, firefighters could afford, you know, $150,000 home. And now with all the zoning, you couldn't build this kind of house on a quarter-acre land. And so that's another aspect of, I would say, pushing young people off Cape is what it's doing.
Yeah.
That's a different recording for a different time. So again, thanks for taking the time today. We have, we have 4 more coaches that have come into the program to coach. They hail from Provincetown, Wellfleet, Yarmouth, and I think it's Dennis. Lisa Hales, Edith Tonelli, Jeb Bates, and Kaya Carls. So they've come in through ICF. Well, ICF sent out an email to Cape Cod specific coaches and said anyone interested. And these 4 are just as energetic as the rest of us here. So I had a meeting with them yesterday, and we'll add them in as things progress. Lauren, you and I, if you could stay on for a minute after the end of this call, I've got a question for you. But we've missed conversation, so if I'm saying anything out of turn, stop me. So I talked with them and told them how we have done 16, we've had 16, I think it's 16 signups, of which 2 people have been repetitive signups, all stating really nice things about the program. And I said, we're in that coaching dip, but it seems that it's turned around a little bit because there were 2 people in the last week. So
and we had 1 more this morning. One more. Yeah.
All right. I haven't had a chance to look, but good, because I was wondering if with being in the monthly newsletter, if that's triggering people.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, and we'll do another coach spotlight. I've been aiming for Thursdays on those. Thursday or Friday, that'll go out. And I think that's been great to put a face to all of you. People know who they're going to be getting in touch with.
So I'm still, for those who have sent in their agreements, signed agreements, thank you. For those who have yet to, please send them. I'll be sending out an email reminding everybody of that. So I think we have a nice, including myself, that makes 10 of us. I think that's a good number for us to do whatever we end up doing going forward. Lauren, you and I need to talk about extending it another 6 weeks. But I'm going to say it sounds like that I maybe can say we're going to do that.
Yeah, I think we can. Yeah. And I think you know, it really takes that initial 6 weeks just to even get people aware and sort of understanding what it's about. So I expect that we'll continue to see steady signups.
Okay. So that, before I go on to what's going forward, have you guys got any questions, comments, or concerns in the work that you're doing, or things that you'd like to share now as far as how things are going?
Well, I think I've done 4 sessions so far, and I've enjoyed every one of them. There's a feeling at the end of this, I haven't done the laser coaching before, you know, I've had longer relationships with people. And there's a feeling at the end of the half hour that, oh, I wish we were going to meet again and see how they're doing with the plan that we set in this meeting. So I'm just saying I like it, and I like their enthusiasm, and I like dealing with this age group. It's a whole different set of issues to deal with. So that's me. I just want to do more with them.
And so Deb, what were you going to say?
I don't have anything new since the last time. I haven't had any coachees in the last 2 weeks. But I had, I think 3 before that. Liked it very much. And I like you, Sue, it is hard to just let them go into the Netherland. I'm not used to that either, to not know how it came out at the end, or what they actually found value. I really would love to know whether they found the session to be valuable or not, or whether they liked the approach, or whether I was helpful. It's kind of hard to know. So that's just, yeah. Usually you do know with your own clients, you do know that they keep coming, they keep paying you. Obviously it's valuable, but with this, you have no idea whether they found it helpful, like whether they did take up any of the plan that you had put into place. And yeah, but I love the process, and it's fun. And it's nice to have it accessible to these younger people who probably would not afford this type of thing. You know, I know for me, coaching when I was younger, I would never have had the budget for it.
Right.
So it's nice to do that.
We're removing a couple of barriers, I think, not just the cost, but also the time commitment, because I think when you're making it 30 minutes and you schedule at your own availability, that's also a really wonderful part of this, that I think so many people in this age group are so stretched in so many different directions that a 30-minute session makes it more, there's a psychological element to that where you're going, oh, I can do that, you know, versus another hour meeting that you have to add to your calendar. That feels like another barrier you have to overcome. So,
well, what's interesting is the at least one individual who has taken advantage of all 3, which is another discussion about extending it 6 more weeks. Do we just make it 3 period, or again, you and I have to discuss it. And actually, your opinion, guys, that we've set it up the first 6 weeks that any one person could sign up for up to 3. We're now doing it another 6 weeks. Should we reset the clock for people that want to take advantage, or do we say 3 and that's it? What are your thoughts? Did that make sense what I said?
Well, based on what Deb and I said a few minutes ago, I'd be happy to continue 3 more sessions for the individual. Does that mean you'd get to see the same person again, or?
Not the way the contracts are written. No, it's you get 3 sessions with 3 different coaches, which is fine. I think that some of the coaches, and I know Peggy in particular, would not, I wouldn't want to speak for her, but to give away too much for free is not fair either. In some ways.
Well, let's, it's one of the things, Lauren, you and I have
set it up as, right. Yeah, we've set it up max of 3, and then anything beyond that, you know, they would need to arrange something with the coach, and they could choose a specific coach to work with on a paid basis if that's something that they want to do. But, you know, Maggie and I also talked about when we get a good kind of proof of concept of how this is working, and we're collecting the surveys after each session, and they've been really positive, I think that gives me more to work with in terms of going to funders and, you know, that maybe there's a possibility where they could cover an additional 3 sessions on top, you know, and that way you all would not be giving away an additional 3 sessions on top of what you're already doing. But, you know, definitely I think we can keep looking at that and thinking about what the need is, because I would also hate to turn people away if they're really needing support.
And there's something to think about for future too. I don't know, this could be like maybe some mini group coaching sessions on certain topics. So if we find some commonality of topics. So I had one that was really about organization and time management and not procrastinating, which you cannot handle in 30 minutes. But in it, you know, but perhaps for future thought patterns about, could we offer some mini group sessions of some sort on the topic like procrastination, and, you know, have a nice discussion about that. That could be fun.
Definitely.
And one of the things Lauren and I have been talking about, and the grant aspect of it, on the, I guess the way, and maybe I oversimplify it, or maybe I presume it can work, is that to me, and again, I don't ask for these grants, so I don't know if $5,000 is a lot of money, but a $5,000 grant could cover 50 coaching sessions.
Yeah.
And so that if we set up a program where, like, this individual who has taken 3 different coaching sessions with 3 different people, so it seems to be helping this individual, to say that you can apply for 3 coaching sessions and have that covered, have the cost of that covered, so that the coach is being compensated, I think it's the direction we've been talking about going in. So at least, you know, and I guess the one issue is we hadn't really thought past 6 weeks with the 3. So it's like, okay, let the juices go. Do we just open it up again and say it's a new 6 weeks, and, you know, because this particular individual, I think, would take advantage of 3 sessions, even though they would be with different coaches. And I know that's what happens at WeCan. Specifically, I had one individual who took one of my courses who literally took advantage as often as she could of attorneys. And even though it was a different attorney each time, she did her own divorce. She didn't have an attorney to do her divorce. All she did is she had to pay for the legal fees herself. But because she accepted the situation, she took charge and she filed for her own divorce.
Wow.
So yeah, so I think that's why I'm thinking, you know, so we can talk more about that. Anything you think, now that you've done 3 or 4 sessions, you would suggest we maybe look at doing differently, adding to the program?
No, I think it's a good taste. You know, my impression when I asked them why they came, and they just wanted to try and see what it was about, and they knew that they couldn't afford it. So I think it's a good taste of what coaching can do for you. I wouldn't change that too much.
Okay, other than that, are there any other ideas or thoughts as to down the road? I mean, I'm always thinking down the road, so any other ideas besides group sessions, paid for extended sessions with the same coach? Okay.
Not right now, no.
No.
Lauren, anything?
No, I think we'll just keep looking at the topics and of what's coming up, and you know, collecting all that info from after each session. I feel like the response has actually been really good for something that's brand new. So
Good.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay.
So unless there's something else, we'll meet again on July 8th, and we'll have new people to join in on the meeting.
Perfect.
I will continue to keep track, and I have appreciated when I've had to send out my little emails of any chance you can take a different time. I've appreciated that you've been able to adjust. And I guess after Lauren and I are done, I'll get on the horn and see how many new ones we've got signed up for this week. So you should be
Okay.
hearing from us. So
Great.
other than that,
Okay.
have a great week. Thank you. And
Well,
Thanks,
You too.
everybody.
Thanks, Maggie.
Bye,
Nice
guys.
seeing you all.
Bye. Bye.
Good to see you guys too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.